What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Mississippi State lands South Alabama's running back, Fluff Bothwell. He had over 800 yards rushing, 13 touchdowns, and so a really big pickup for the Mississippi State. He took the state visit. He had visits lined up for Ole Miss too after Mississippi State. He didn't want to go to the Ole Miss. He didn't want to take visits to Ole Miss, but they already had the visit scheduled, so they took it anyway. And then he ultimately committed to Mississippi State. It was going to be tomorrow. He said he was going to announce tomorrow, but he gave us an early Christmas present. So State can offer a starting spot to him. Ole Miss, they don't really have a starting opportunity, so that's probably why he decided to come to Mississippi State, because he knew that he would probably start there, and so I like this pickup. He can help you right away. He's not necessarily fast, but he does have good speed, and he's just a bowling ball. He will run right over you. You better get out of the way. And so he was just looking for a new opportunity, and Mississippi State gave it to him, and it's in the SEC too. So good pickup by Mississippi State. Some other transfer portal news. Mississippi State added a lot of players, and we'll get to that. I'm kind of behind. I hadn't been making videos recently, so I'll just give everything. But instead of making just separate videos about these players, I'll just give it to you straightforward in one video and talk about everything. So Mississippi State added Carson Lee. We'll just go in order. Carson Lee, a center from Eastern Michigan. We do need a center. And so he may be a depth piece. We'll just have to see if they add any more on the offensive side. But Carson Lee from Eastern Michigan, he's a center. Could he play? Could he move to like right guard or left guard and play one of those positions? We'll just see. Malachi Silva, a defensive end from Texas A&M. 6'6", 350. Really big, really a big body. Who will probably most likely start for you. You know, I think he can maybe get after the passer. He can get after the passer. So, you know, State needed to buffed up this defensive line, and you're starting to see that with these guys. You know, we'll see if they add any more. Hopefully so, but we'll see. But Malachi Silva, defensive end from Texas A&M. Kobe Keenum, Kentucky, a center. You know, he has some connections with Mississippi State. He's kin to Brandon Walker. And has a really good relationship with Cody Kennedy. So, you know, we'll see what they decide for him. Jerry Bledsoe, defensive lineman from Texas. You know, don't really have any stats. You know, he was down the depth chart a little bit. So he can probably help you out. He'll probably help you out eventually. You gotta add. You're adding some depth. You gotta add a few key time starters though, but not a bad pickup. Really, he could definitely help you out and get out the passer. Maybe knock some balls down. So really, I like this guy. Really big pickup. Well, not a really big pickup, but you need some depth on this team also. The guy that you can expect to start is Jalen Smith from Tennessee, a middle linebacker. You know, I think he played in a couple games. Tennessee really wanted to keep him, but ended up transferring. Took a visit to Auburn, and so, but decided to come to Mississippi State. He can help you. He'll probably definitely start for you with Stone Blanton and Brandon Jennings. So I like this guy. Really like this guy. Darian Gillett from Texas, a linebacker. I don't really have any stats, but you know, you needed to take a couple linebackers, and so Darian Gillett, a linebacker from Texas, you know, pretty good. I mean, you'll take him. Then State needed to go and get a backup quarterback behind Blake Shapen. State needed to go get a backup quarterback behind Blake Shapen, and that's what they did. Luke Crumminghawk, quarterback for Florida State. You know, 5-star, was actually like top 3 quarterback in the portal. You know, he could. I don't know if he plays next year. But you don't want to. I'm glad I changed. You don't want to play. I mean, you want to probably redshirt Mario Taylor. You want to redshirt Taylor And so he'll probably start next year as a redshirt freshman. But you had to go get a backup, and this was probably the only. Well, you wanted to go get Jackson Arnold, but he went to Auburn. So Jesse Ramel, an offensive lineman from James Madison. I think you can pencil him in as your starter next year. You need to go rebuild pretty much everything, but especially, on the defensive side of the ball, but the offensive line also. But Jesse Ramel, James Madison, only 1 year remaining, so really like this guy. Jared Glover, wide receiver from Michigan State. Wide receiver from Michigan State. He could definitely help you out next year. They still want to go add maybe another wide receiver. They still want to go add another wide receiver, a proven wide receiver. Hold on. But he definitely can help you out some. He's pretty fast. And so not gonna lie, this is a really good player. You wanted to go get a couple wide receivers to add, and not only that, I think with them saying that you can have another year of eligibility. I think a couple Mississippi State players can come back for you, like Kelly Akari. I think he can come back next year for you. So that's going to be a really big time that he can help you out. He was a little banged up. Really didn't get that his opportunity. So, but you do need to add a couple wide receivers, and Jared and Glover can really help you out. Brendan Thompson, really fast. Jeff Levy coached him when he was at Oklahoma. He knows him, really fast. So he'll probably start. Wide receiver too. So edge, Nabay Sanders out of Northern Illinois, an edge. He's typically your third down guy who third down plays, third down and long. Let's go. Third down and long. He comes in, rush the passer, and gets at the quarterback. So that's probably the main job for him. Then Reed Hibbler, a defensive end from NC State. He's actually from Louisville, Mississippi. So he knows not far from Mississippi State. So he can actually he'll probably you can probably pencil him in as your starter too. J-Ron Manning, safety from Old Dominion, really good player. Went to Colin, Mississippi, went to Colin Community College. Day one starter, if I have to guess. Really good player. Jamal Burrows, a defensive tackle, went to Alabama, then transferred to Miami. This guy, you're bringing him in for a trial. You know, if he comes in and can help you out, if he pans out for you next year, you'll keep him. But if not, you'll probably tell him to transfer somewhere else. Then Jalen Williams, defensive back from Kennesaw State. Had a really big year last year. He's really productive for you. Well, he can be really productive for you. And so he can be a really productive for you. And so, but we'll see. Hopefully they can add a couple more cornerbacks. Then the former Mississippi State players that made their destination. Kevin Coleman. State really wanted to keep him, but he's from Missouri. He's from St. Louis, Missouri, and he transferred to Missouri. So Michael Van Buren going to LSU. Kevon Lee hadn't gone anywhere, hadn't transferred anywhere yet, or hadn't landed into anywhere yet. Mario Craver, Texas A&M. Chris Keys, nowhere yet. Radar Jones, nowhere. Marcus Ross, nowhere. Mari Smith, nowhere. J.R. Gilmore, nowhere. Antonio Harmon, Marshall. Kamari Rogers, Jackson State. McAllen Pounders, Louisville. Kobe Albert, nowhere. Bryce Pollock, Texas Tech. Gabe Moore, Nebraska. John Lewis, nowhere. Ty Cooper, Tulane. TB Hilton, Alcorn State. Chris Parson, Austin Peay. Trent Hudson, Vanderbilt. J.J. Harrell, Arkansas State. And Creed Whittemore, Utah. So those are the guys that made their destination. Some had not made their destination yet. So we'll see. We'll see if the other guys plan to go anywhere or sign with anywhere. So that's it. That's the portal news. Mississippi State basketball got a big win over Mississippi State basketball got a big win over Memphis. And so, good win for them. The women, they picked up the win. The women are 12-1. I think the men are 11-1. So, if they getting to SEC play in a couple of weeks. So really SEC's loaded. SEC is loaded. So we'll see. But thank you guys. God bless.